Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take stacks of information, break them down, and pull out the key insights to help you get well-informed quickly. Today, we're diving into a topic that, well, for many psychotherapists and mental health providers, can feel a bit like walking on eggshells.
Oh, yeah.
Discussing the fee with your clients. This deep dive is really tailored for you practitioners, and we're drawing heavily from a great training by Karuna Academy, led by Dr. Kai.
It really is a conversation that can feel daunting sometimes. But honestly, getting comfortable with the different fee structures and how to talk about them clearly is just essential.
Essential for the practice, right, and for the client's access to care.
Absolutely. So our mission today is basically to clarify when you should talk about fees and how to do it, whether someone's paying directly or, using insurance.
And maybe decode some of that jargon too. Copay, coinsurance, deductibles.
Exactly. What they actually mean in practice for both you and the client.
Okay, I think every therapist has felt that little nod of anxiety before bringing up money. So let's unpack this. Let's turn that anxiety into confidence.
Sounds good.
We'll walk through that whole client journey,
Yeah.
right, from the very first call
Yep. The initial consultation.
all the way to that first intake session and pinpoint exactly where these fee discussions should happen.
So Karuna Academy, they've mapped out a really clear process. It generally flows something like this. Consultation first.
Okay.
Then the client usually interacts with the client portal for paperwork.
Right, the forms.
Then, if insurance is involved, there's verification and enrollment. And then you get to the intake session.
And what I found really interesting in their approach is how that path splits almost right away based on one really key question.
Does the client have insurance they plan to use?
Exactly. That one question changes the whole timeline for talking money.
It really does. So for clients paying what we call a direct fee, basically, no health insurance involved, or they choose not to use it, that fee conversation, it happens early.
Yeah.
Right there during the initial consultation.
Up front. Makes sense.
Yeah, maximum transparency from the get-go.
But here's where it gets, well, maybe a bit more complicated, or at least needs more steps.
Right.
If a client wants to use out-of-network, or OON benefits, or in-network, INN,
Yeah, those acronyms.
then the fee talk happens later. It's after that consultation.
Correct. Specifically, after their benefits are verified and they're enrolled, you need the facts first.
Ensures accuracy. You don't want to guess about insurance details.
Absolutely not. You need that verification.
Okay, let's zoom in then. First scenario.
Yeah.
The direct fee. Client isn't using insurance for therapy.
Right. So Karuna Academy's policy gives a clear deadline here. For individual therapy, the standard rate is $150.
Per session.
Per session, yeah. Typically 55 minutes. For couples therapy, it's $200 per session, usually for 60 minutes.
Those are the standard rates for the practice.
Exactly. Your starting points reflecting the clinical service.
But, the reality is, what if a client really needs help, but $150 a week or even every other week is just not feasible for them?
That's a very real situation, and it brings up that core tension, right? Practice sustainability versus accessibility.
How do you balance it?
And that's precisely where the sliding scale comes in. It's not just about being nice, it's a structural tool.
Okay.
Karuna Academy encourages clinicians to use a sliding scale for clients who genuinely face financial barriers. They even have official peers.
Oh, they provide specific rates.
They do. For individual, it might be $115, $125, $135. For couples, maybe $150, $170, $180.
So it's structured, not just pulling a number out of thin air.
Exactly. It makes it a strategic tool. You can serve more people, build trust, make it sustainable without just, giving away services unsustainably.
Okay, so practically speaking, in that initial consultation, how do you actually say it? How do you bring up the direct fee without it feeling awkward or, intrusive?
The suggested approach is pretty gentle. You might just say something like, okay, regarding the fee, let me just ask a quick question. Do you happen to have health insurance you were planning on using for therapy?
I like that. It's direct, but not blunt. It just flows from the process.
Exactly. So what if they say, no, I don't have insurance, or nah, I'd rather not use it?
Okay.
If they clearly state they don't have or aren't using insurance, you can just say very clearly and confidently, okay, no problem at all. My standard fee is $150 per session.
Direct. Clear.
Yep. Now, if after you state the fee, they hesitate or they explicitly say something about cost being a concern,
That's the opening.
that's your opening for the sliding scale.
Yeah.
You could say something like, I definitely understand therapy is a significant investment. I do offer a sliding scale to help make it more accessible for folks facing financial barriers. If you feel that might apply to you, please let me know and we can discuss those options.
That feels collaborative. It empowers them to share their need rather than you assuming.
Precisely. It respects their privacy while offering support.
What if, they don't qualify based
Uh,
on the criteria? Or even the lowest sliding scale rate is still too much of a stretch?
that's a tough spot, but it's important. If your fee structure, even the sliding scale, isn't workable for them, the goal shifts.
To referrals.
Yeah, exactly. It becomes about connecting them with other resources, maybe community clinics, training institutes, or other therapists whose fees might be a better fit. The goal is always sustainable therapy.
Right. You want them focused on the therapy itself, not stressing constantly about paying for it.
Absolutely. Stress-free for both sides, ideally.
That's a really vital point, knowing when a referral is the most ethical and helpful step. Okay, let's pivot now. Let's wade into the sometimes murky waters of insurance.
Okay, the fun part.
Yeah. For a lot of therapists and clients, that out-of-network versus in-network distinction is just confusing. Can you
Right.
break down the core difference?
Absolutely. Let's try to simplify it. Think of in-network, IN, like this. You, the clinician, have signed a contract directly with insurance company X.
Your partners, basically.
Sort of, yeah. You've agreed to their rules, their paperwork, and crucially, their set rates for your services. You're in their directory.
Okay. So what's out-of-network, OON?
OON means you don't have that direct contract with insurance company Y. You're not one of their preferred providers.
So how does the client pay?
Typically, the client pays you your full fee directly upfront.
Your standard rate, like $150.
Usually, yes. Then, if their specific insurance plan has ON benefits, the client takes your receipt, often called a super bill, and submits it themselves to their insurance company to try and get reimbursed for a portion of what they paid you.
So the burden of getting reimbursed is on the client.
Primarily, yes. Your role shifts more towards providing the necessary documentation and being really clear about the process and the uncertainty of reimbursement.
That clarity seems key for ON. Okay, so for both ON and INN, we said the fee discussion happens after the consultation once benefits are checked.
Right, after verification and enrollment.
Let's tackle ON first. It seems like it involves more client legwork and maybe more potential confusion.
It definitely can. The absolute first step, and Karuna Academy stresses this, is verifying the client actually has ON benefits specifically for behavioral or mental health.
Not all plans do.
Not all plans do, or sometimes the coverage is very limited. If they don't have ON coverage for therapy, well, then they're essentially a direct fee client. They just pay your rate.
Okay, but assuming they do have ON benefits.
Then, yes, you typically charge your standard fee, let's say $150. The client pays you $150. You give them the super bill.
And they chase the insurance company. You're not billing the insurance directly.
Correct. And this is critical. You must emphasize that any potential reimbursement amount you might discuss based on their benefits check is only an estimate.
An estimate. Why?
Because ON insurance providers can, and sometimes do, deny claims for various reasons. Reimbursement is never guaranteed.
Wow.
So the client really needs to be financially comfortable paying your full fee, just in case that reimbursement doesn't come through or is less than expected.
That's a huge expectation to manage. Can you still use a sliding scale with ON?
Yes, absolutely. If the client's effective rate, meaning your fee minus the potential reimbursement, is still a hardship, you can definitely offer your sliding scale rates to lower their initial out-of-pocket cost.
Okay, that makes sense. So how do you phrase this ON discussion, especially when you bring in the deductible? That's another tricky term.
Right. There are basically two scenarios with ON. Deductible met or deductible not met. Let's start with the easier one. No deductible to worry about, or it's already been met for the year.
Oh.
You might say something like, okay, we've verified your ONN benefits. It looks like your insurance might cover a portion of our sessions. You'll pay my standard rate of $150 up front each session, and based on your plan, you could potentially get back around mention estimated percentage or amount, e.g. 60% from your insurance company. So if everything goes smoothly with them, your final cost per session could effectively be closer to calculate effective rate, e.g. $60.
And stressing the might and potential.
Absolutely. Always stress the uncertainty. And then you can add, if that effective rate still feels like a stretch financially, we can definitely discuss my sliding scale options too.
Okay, clear. Now, the more common scenario, probably, with a deductible. How do you explain that hurdle? People often misunderstand deductibles.
Yeah, the biggest confusion is thinking insurance pays right away. A deductible is simply the amount of money the client has to pay 100% out of pocket for covered healthcare services before their insurance plan starts sharing the cost.
It's like a spending threshold they have to hit first.
Exactly. Each year, usually.
Yeah.
So you need to explain that clearly. You might say, so the good news is you do have these OON benefits. The slightly less good news is that you have a deductible you need to meet first before your insurance will start contributing towards reimbursements.
Setting the stage.
Right. Then you explain the cost implications. This means you'll be paying my full fee of $150 per session out of pocket initially.
Until the deductible's met.
Precisely. You can even give them an estimate if your billing support can provide one. Based on your deductible amount and my fee, our team estimates you might meet your deductible after approximately X sessions.
That's helpful context.
Yeah, it gives them a ballpark. Then reiterate. So you'll pay the full $150 until that deductible is satisfied. After that, you should be able to submit super bills and potentially get reimbursed for a portion of the fee for future sessions.
And you can still offer the sliding scale here, too.
Definitely, especially since they're paying the full fee up front for potentially several sessions, you'd add. Just to reiterate, while my standard fee is $150, I do have a sliding scale if the full fee presents a financial barrier, especially during this deductible phase. Please let me know if that's something we should discuss.
Okay, that really breaks down the OON process and the importance of managing those expectations around reimbursement and deductibles. Crucial stuff.
It really is. Transparency prevents problems later.
So let's move to the other side. In-network, INN. What's the fundamental difference here in terms of policy and how you talk about the fee?
The biggest difference is control over the fee. With INN, the fee isn't really set by you, the clinician.
It's set by the insurance company.
Exactly. Each insurance company you're contracted with dictates the allowable rate for your services. Your practice has agreed to accept that rate.
So no negotiation room there with the client on the session fee itself.
Correct. The conversation is much simpler. Once you've verified their IMN benefits, you basically just inform the client what their specific out-of-pocket costs will be per session, according to their plan.
Which brings us to those other terms, copay and coinsurance. How do they fit into the INN picture, and how do you explain them clearly so clients actually get it?
Good question, because they sound similar but work differently. Let's define them simply for the client. A copay is easy. It's a fixed dollar amount you pay for each session after your deductible is met, like $28, $30, $50, whatever their plan says. It's predictable.
Flat rate. Got it. And coinsurance.
Coinsurance is a percentage. After the deductible is met, the client pays a certain percentage of the insurance company's allowed amount for the session, and the insurance pays the rest. So if the allowed amount is $100 and they have 20% coinsurance.
They paid $20.
Exactly. It's a percentage, not a flat fee. So the actual dollar amount might vary slightly depending on the service code or session length, potentially.
Okay, that distinction is helpful. So, just like ON, the INN discussion also depends on the deductible status.
Yes, same logic applies. You have three main scenarios for INN clients after verification.
Okay, lay them out.
1, no deductible or it's met, and they have coinsurance. They pay only that percentage of the allowed rate each session. Might be 10%, 20%, whatever the plan dictates.
So a relatively small amount usually.
Often, yes. Scenario 2, no deductible or met, and they have a copay. Even simpler. They just pay that flat rate copay amount, $20, $40, etc. each session.
Yeah.
Vary. And scenario 3, they have a deductible that is not yet met. In this case, just like with ON, they pay the full allowed amount for the session, the rate the insurance company would normally pay you entirely out of pocket.
So they might pay, say, $100 or $120 per session initially.
Exactly. Whatever that contracted rate is. They pay that full amount until their deductible for the year is satisfied.
And once it is met,
then they switch. They start paying only their copay or their coinsurance percentage for the rest of the policy year.
So it's crucial to prepare them for potentially paying that higher full allowed amount for those initial sessions.
Absolutely vital. No surprises is the goal.
Wow. Okay, we have really taken a deep dive today into all the details of discussing fees, from the straightforward direct fee and sliding scales.
Right.
All the way through the, let's say, intricacies of out-of-network and in-network insurance, deductibles, copays, coinsurance.
It's a lot of moving parts.
It is. But having this kind of structured approach, like the one from Karuna Academy, really aims to bring clarity for you, the therapist, and just as importantly, for the client.
Mm-hmm. And understanding these nuts and bolts, the copays, the deductibles, the INM versus ON process, it's really not just about getting paid accurately.
It's more foundational than that.
I think so. It's about empowering clients. Giving them clear, honest information right from the start builds trust. It reduces their anxiety about the financial piece.
So they can focus on the actual therapy.
Exactly. It helps make the whole process feel more accessible, more manageable, less stressful for everyone involved.
And having this framework, this structured way to approach it,
Mm.
hopefully gives therapists the confidence to have these conversations proactively, clearly, transforming what could be an awkward moment into really the start of a trusting relationship.
Well said.
So maybe something for you, the listener, to think about. How might really clear, confident communication around fees using some of these strategies, how might that fundamentally shift a client's entire experience, building a stronger foundation for their work with you right from day one? Something to mull over as you navigate the financial side of your own practice.